in this video, we're going to go ahead and review some of the important concepts that was covered in Chapter 1, Section 2, Rounding Whole Numbers in your textbook. Some important points I wanted to note was when it comes to being able to determine place value, there is a procedure that you can use, and the first step is, first of all, figuring out what place value you are going to be rounding to. So in this example right here, it's asking us to round to the tens. So we know from place value and our section prior to this one that we're looking for the tens. We have our ones. We know our tens is here. That's what we're going to be rounding to. Here in this problem, we are looking to round to the thousands. So we know this is in the thousands place. Notice I'm putting a line underneath. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier so you don't forget what digit you are going to be rounding to. In this one here, we're going to be rounding all the way. If you remember in your textbook, rounding all the way is we go to the number that is the furthest to the left of our understood decimal points for all of these numbers right here. And so then we know that's where we start with. So that's our first step. But then when we go on to the next section, we have to figure out, are we going to be increasing the digits or are they staying the same? The rule for that is fairly straightforward. If a digit to the right of the number that is being rounded increases the digit being rounded by 1. So what does that mean? Basically that means we go ahead, we know we're looking at this one right here. We know we're rounding to the tens. So we have to go ahead and we look at the number that sits directly to the right of it. In this problem, it's a 9. So we know because 9 is greater than 5, we're going to increase this digit right here, and this actually rounds to 1,450. So what we did was this, because it was a 9, we added 1 to the 4 here, made that a 5, and then we have a 0, which is what we do after we round when we figured out if it's 5 or greater, we're adding 1, or if the digit to the right is 4 or less, we do not change the digits that's being rounded. So for example, in this one right here, we're asking to round to the thousands place. I have my line under the thousands, but that's not the number I'm looking at. I'm looking at this number here, the 3, because the 3 is, of course, less than 5. This digit's going to be the same. So this number is going to round to 345,000. And again, notice we went ahead and we're adding our zeros, which is what we're talking about right here. We change all our digits to the right of the number being rounded to zeros. Once we've figured out, are we increasing the number being rounded or is it staying the same? So then we have this problem right here, and again, we're rounding all the way. So we go ahead and we look at the 7, we go back, we take a look at the 6 here, because it's a 6, it's greater than 5, we're going to go ahead, we're going to round up that 7 to an 8, and once again, like we have in step number 3, everything else that follows becomes zeros. So actually our number then rounds to 800,000. So that takes care of our video when it comes to rounding whole numbers. Thank you.